You wake up, staring at the ceiling, wondering how your life ended up here. The days feel repetitive, your goals, distant echoes of the past. Fear and self-doubt pull you under, making the future seem unreachable. But in this very darkness, the Stoics offer a light. They didn't promise easy victories or shortcuts. They promised clarity, resilience, and a path to control your inner world when the external one crumbles. Today, you learn not to escape this life, but to conquer it, step by step. Because long-term goals aren't achieved by dreaming, but by mastering the war within. So start with our first lesson, which is the anchor of intent. Imagine a ship without a destination, tossed by waves, swayed by the winds, forever drifting. That ship is you, aimlessly moving through life. The days blur together, you keep busy, but there's no direction. You set goals, yet something always pulls you away. The Stoics knew that having a clear intent, an anchor, is essential for weathering the storms of life. It's not enough to have vague ambitions. Intent is more than just wanting something. It's knowing why you want it. Epictetus didn't tell people to wish for fame or riches. He urged them to understand their reason for action. Without this reason, without intent, you're destined to fail, constantly knocked off course by distractions, desires, and doubts. The moment you commit to an intent, your life changes. But this doesn't mean the seas become calm. Far from it. You'll still face turbulence, distractions will rise, and fear will whisper. But with intent, you become unshakable. Your actions now have meaning, even in the face of failure. Stop drifting. Ask yourself, what do I want? But more importantly, why do I want it? Only when you have a firm answer can you move forward with stoic resolve. Every action must serve that greater intent, that long-term purpose. Let your intent become the foundation for everything you do. In time, you'll find that nothing, not even the fiercest storms, can pull you off course. Because now, you're anchored, and nothing in this world is stronger than a mind with purpose. Second, the silent war within. There's a war going on inside you. A quiet, persistent battle between the person you are and the person you want to be. You wake up with the best intentions, determined to move forward, but by the end of the day, nothing has changed. This internal conflict is subtle but fierce, and it's exactly what the Stoics faced. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." But here's the truth. It's easier to argue, to rationalize, to daydream about who you could become than it is to act. Your mind will always create excuses, shielding you from discomfort. The war within is a constant tug-of-war between action and inaction, between comfort and progress. But the Stoic approach to long-term goals isn't about fighting external battles. It's about mastering this silent war. Every day, the battle replays in small moments, whether to hit snooze or get up, whether to confront your fears or avoid them. Your goals will only be achieved if you win these tiny battles. Don't look for a grand victory. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Every choice, every decision, is a skirmish. And with each small victory, the person you want to be gets stronger. But beware, with every loss, every time you choose comfort over challenge, you feed your weaker self. The war is relentless. It doesn't end when you achieve a goal. It simply shifts. The Stoics understood this well. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is the one with yourself. Third, burn the bridges behind you. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff. The only way forward is a narrow, treacherous path. Behind you, the land is safe, familiar, but unfulfilling. Most people hesitate, paralyzed by the fear of falling. But what if the Stoics offered a different approach? What if you could burn the bridge behind you, leaving no option to retreat? The Stoic philosopher Cleanthes taught that we must sever our ties to comfort if we are to grow. Your comfort zone, while familiar, is where your dreams go to die. The longer you keep an escape route open, the more tempted you'll be to take it when things get hard. The Stoic approach to long-term goals demands commitment, total, irrevocable commitment. Burn the bridges behind you. Remove your safety nets. When there's no way back, something remarkable happens. Fear transforms into focus. You realize the only option is to move forward, step by step. You stop worrying about the dangers and start focusing on the next move. The human mind, when given no escape, becomes razor sharp. But burning the bridge doesn't mean reckless abandon. It means understanding that growth happens when you're fully immersed in the struggle. You'll stumble, you'll fall, but with no way back, failure becomes fuel for action. There's a fierce liberation in knowing you cannot retreat. So look at your goals. Ask yourself, what bridges do I need to burn? What comforts do I need to sever? Once you've answered that, set the fire. Watch the smoke rise and begin your journey with only one direction: forward. Fourth, the weight of patience. Patience is a heavy burden. In a world where instant results are celebrated, the Stoics knew that lasting change takes time. But patience isn't passive. It's not about waiting quietly for something to happen. It's about enduring the grind, the repetition, the silent, often painful process of growth. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. Each day, you water it, nurture it, but for weeks, there's no sign of life. You question whether it's working. Maybe you even think about giving up. But beneath the surface, growth is happening. The roots are spreading, even if you can't see them yet. The Stoics saw life like this. Long-term goals are built underground first, in the hidden, unseen work. Marcus Aurelius said, "The fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good." But fruit takes time. And patience is not just about waiting for the end. It's about cultivating strength during the process. You will be tested. You will want to give up when progress seems invisible. But this is where Stoicism asks you to stand firm. Patience is heavy, yes, but it's also liberating. It frees you from the tyranny of instant results. It allows you to focus on the process, the craft, the small steps that will eventually lead to your goal. So, when the world tells you to rush, to demand results now, resist. Hold the weight of patience and trust that beneath the surface, something powerful is growing. Over time, the fruits of your labor will emerge, but only if you've endured the wait. Fifth, welcome the pain. Pain is inevitable. Yet, how often do we run from it, trying to numb ourselves, avoiding discomfort at all costs? The Stoics, however, saw pain differently. They didn't seek to avoid it. They welcomed it. Because pain is a guide. It shows you where you're weak, where you need to grow. Imagine walking barefoot across a burning path. Your first instinct is to stop, to retreat. But the Stoics taught that walking through pain, rather than avoiding it, is what shapes us. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Pain, both physical and emotional, is your body's way of telling you what needs to be strengthened. Instead of fearing it, lean into it. This doesn't mean seeking unnecessary suffering. It means when pain arises on the path to your goals, you face it head-on. The discomfort you feel is a necessary step in your evolution. Without it, you remain weak, untested. The Stoic approach to long-term goals isn't about avoiding pain. It's about finding the lessons within it. There will be moments when everything hurts, when your progress seems slow, when the weight of your dreams feels unbearable. But remember, this pain is not your enemy. It's your mentor. Embrace it. Welcome it. Let it break you down, because only then can you rebuild yourself stronger. The greatest achievements are born in the fire of adversity. It's time to step into the flames. Sixth, harness the void. You know the feeling. The emptiness that gnaws at you when progress feels like it's slipping through your fingers. It's that void, that gap between where you are and where you want to be. Most people are terrified of it. But the Stoics saw this emptiness not as a curse but as an opportunity, a place where real transformation begins. Picture yourself standing in front of a blank canvas. The sheer emptiness of it overwhelms you. It's easier to stare at it than to start painting. That void is the gap between intention and action. It's a space filled with doubt, fear, and hesitation. But here's the Stoic insight. This void is your greatest asset. It is the untouched potential that most people never dare to confront. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, lost everything in a shipwreck. Yet, out of that void, he built an entire philosophy. Why? Because the void is pure possibility. It is the absence of distractions, the absence of illusions. The void doesn't promise comfort, but it does promise clarity. In that empty space, You are free to define your next move without the noise of external influence. The challenge is learning to live in that space, to accept that the path to your long-term goals is defined by periods of uncertainty and lack. The Stoics embraced these voids, knowing that they are where true creativity and resilience are born. Stop fearing the emptiness. Instead, harness it. When you stand in that uncomfortable silence, realize that you are standing at the beginning of something powerful. The void doesn't destroy you. It molds you. It is here, in the emptiness, that you can create something entirely new. Seventh, the art of necessary sacrifice. Every goal you pursue comes with a cost. But the real question is, are you willing to pay it? Most people are not. They talk of ambition but cling to comfort, unaware that every long-term goal demands a sacrifice. The Stoics understood that sacrifice isn't just about giving something up. It's about choosing what you're willing to live without in order to gain something far greater. Imagine standing before two doors. One leads to your comfort zone, an easy life with no challenges, no growth. The other leads to your goal, but the path is steep and lined with sacrifices. Stoicism teaches that every meaningful pursuit requires you to give up something of value, whether it's time, comfort, relationships, or even your identity. Seneca spoke often about this, warning that people are too quick to cling to trivial pleasures and conveniences, unaware that these very things hold them back. You must ask yourself, what am I willing to let go of in order to achieve my long-term goals? It could be something tangible, like a habit or lifestyle, or it could be something deeper, like an outdated version of yourself, a self that no longer serves your greater vision. This is the art of necessary sacrifice, the deliberate choice to shed what is holding you back to make space for the growth you seek. But here's the twist. Sacrifice, in the Stoic sense, doesn't weaken you. It strengthens your resolve. Each sacrifice becomes a stepping stone, each loss a reminder that you are on a path that few dare to walk. If you want something more, something greater, understand that the price is steep. But the reward, fulfillment, mastery, purpose, is beyond measure. Eighth, the fire of restless dissatisfaction. We've all been told that contentment is the key to happiness. But the Stoics, while valuing inner peace, also understood the power of restless dissatisfaction. It's a fire that, when controlled, can drive you to extraordinary heights. The key is to wield this dissatisfaction wisely, without letting it consume you. Picture yourself on a plateau. You've made progress, yes, but deep inside, there's a nagging discomfort, a whisper that says, this isn't enough. You could be more. The average person would suppress this feeling, thinking it's a sign of greed or impatience. But the Stoics saw it differently. This inner restlessness, this quiet dissatisfaction, is not a flaw. It's the fuel that propels you forward. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote about this unease, urging us not to settle for mediocrity in our actions. He understood that true progress isn't born from complacency, but from a constant hunger to improve, to refine, to grow. It's not that you despise what you've achieved, but rather, you recognize that there's more within you waiting to be unleashed. The trick is balance. Let this fire burn, but do not let it become an inferno that destroys your peace of mind. Restless dissatisfaction must be tempered with patience. It's not about recklessly chasing the next milestone, but about using that internal drive to keep sharpening your blade. The Stoics teach that this dissatisfaction isn't about external rewards, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. When you feel that discomfort creep in, don't push it away. Embrace it. Let it be a reminder that you're still growing, still evolving. And in that growth, you'll find the satisfaction that isn't dependent on achievements, but on the relentless pursuit of mastery. The path to setting and achieving long-term goals isn't about finding shortcuts or guarantees. It's about embracing the struggles, the uncertainties, and the sacrifices that forge real growth. Stoicism doesn't promise ease, but it offers clarity. In the face of chaos, you remain grounded. You don't just reach your goals, you become stronger through the process itself. And if this journey has sparked something in you, there's more to discover. There's always another layer to peel back, another challenge to conquer. So, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and check out our next videos. Your journey continues,